Hello everyone, I'm Jeffrey Woldt, Editor-in-Chief of retailmediaIQ. Welcome to our coffee chat. Today we're thrilled to have as our guest Rebecca Browne, Vice President of Marketing at E.T. Browne, which of course is best known for the Palmer's skincare line. Rebecca, great to see you.
Hi, Jeff. Great to see you too. Thanks for inviting me.
Innovation obviously is the engine that drives the entire CPG industry. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what E.T. Browne is doing to take its products to the next level.
Innovation in this space isn't it's important, but it's not just about launching a new product anymore. It's really about giving the consumer a new and innovative brand experience. At least that's how I look at it, and we look at it over here. So at Palmer's, that means taking, our core cocoa butter expertise and heritage and translating it into today's world where consumers expect a real sensorial experience. They want the product to work, and from Palmer's, that's sort of a mandatory that's built into our DNA. But they also want that indulgent, self-care routine. And for us, that means bringing that sort of luxurious indulgence, but in an accessible way at an accessible price point.
Rebecca, I understand that recently you've introduced the Tahitian Vanilla Body Care line. Can you tell us about that?
So yeah, when we innovate, it's important that we look at trends. Those are what drive people into the stores. But it has to be relevant to Palmer's. And one of the most important things, fragrance has always been important to the brand, but we never wanted that to be our calling card. We wanted people to be buying products that work because we think that's what keeps people coming back. So with this latest trend of people really wanting that sensorial experience, and fragrance is driving a lot of purchases in the hand and body care aisle right now. But it's important that we deliver that fragrance with really a fine fragrance. Our vanilla fragrance is lovely. But there has to be a strong skin benefit that's tied to it. It's not just, oh, this smells good, and then I can go on to the next fun fruity flavor, they're all interchangeable. There has to be a reason why you're going to keep coming back to Palmer's, and I think that the level of moisturization, the long-lasting moisturization, the almost skin healing benefits that you get from the product will keep you coming back.
In addition to skincare, E.T. Browne is involved in the hair care category, also makes products for new mothers and infants. Can you tell us about that part of the business?
Yeah, a lot of people are surprised to hear that hair care were some of the first products that E.T. Browne had, and E.T. Browne goes back to 1840. It was one of the first toiletry brands in the United States. The current ownership it's a family. They've owned it since 1971. So, and that's sounds far away too. And now it's funny thinking that the 70s were a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. But to get back on track with it, so hair care was really a part of that initial story from E.T. Browne and Palmer's, and it remains so. We still have some key products out there. We play really well in the textured hair space, and we're still going strong with our coconut oil formula range, as well as a bonding range that we launched. And we have some innovation coming, and I'll break the news here. We have Tahitian Vanilla for hair coming very soon. And then, the new mom stuff, our stretch mark products are, we're the #1 stretch mark brand in the world, actually. So that's just always important to us. We always say, oh, that's a gateway drug, because when a woman is pregnant, somebody in her life, if she isn't familiar with us already, somebody's going to tell her, you need Palmer's. Mm-hmm. And that's what she'll be introduced to, our great formulations, and hopefully we'll keep her for life.
How are you using digital and also influencers to build your business?
Product marketing has changed more in the last 5 years than in the previous 20. I mean, it's just a different universe. Maybe that was accelerated by COVID, maybe. But yeah, so, consumers are, discovering and evaluating products through digital and social platforms. So you have to be there so that they can find you. They're not just going to wander into the store aisle and find your product. Everyone knows this. I'm not saying anything new, but so that you have to be smart, about using those platforms and staying relevant. We leverage our analyticals and CRM studies to understand, our consumer behaviors and where they are in their life stages. And we even use AI-driven insights to optimize our campaigns as they're, while, on the fly while they're ongoing. So that space is fast, and you have to be equally fast and faster if you can to keep moving forward and catching up, and not always playing catch up, but hopefully getting ahead of it sometimes. Influencers are huge, very important to us. We've gained a lot of traction through some key partners, and finding the right partner is tricky, right? You have to find somebody who, it's not just about their follower count for sure. Big follower counts a lot of times are inflated, so you have to really look at their engagement numbers. So you're finding somebody who has a big follower count, but also has engaged followers that are, watching and following that person.
Natural ingredients is something that E.T. Browne has been committed to since the beginning, as you say, way back. How big of an advantage is that in today's market, and I'm thinking particularly of the younger customer?
I think it's an advantage. And I think the younger consumers today, they just don't want to hear the claim that this is natural. They want to, they don't, natural ingredients are important, and everyone's looking for those ingredients. It used to be as simple as saying, no parabens, no phthalates, no bad stuff. But they don't want to hear that anymore. They want to hear what's in it. So that's where natural ingredients become key, that you can, sell that consumer really. And that's always been who we are. We built our brand on cocoa butter, which is a natural ingredient, obviously. And if you look at all of our collections, they're all based on those, really core natural ingredients that are beneficial to your skin, to your hair. We still see with Gen Z and younger millennials a strong demand for those natural products. So I think, in a way, I feel like the natural product space has become sort of inundated. Everybody's natural. So sometimes when everybody's something, nobody is, right? But I think we still have that credibility, and it is still important space for Palmer's to sort of own and move forward with.
Final question for you, Rebecca. Obviously, partnerships with retailers are vital, and also in-store activation, I guess, is important today, as a lot of sales go to the online channels. How are you helping retailers generate foot traffic?
The consumer still wants to be out there around people, learning and seeing new products and maybe getting some swag. But it looks like the big shows maybe aren't the space anymore. We just did an activation in store in one of our biggest customers, and we used our favorite influencer, our most resonating influencer, and she came and did an in-store appearance. The amount of foot traffic that we drove to see her and to see our innovation that she was showcasing was amazing, and I think that helps a brand build those relationships with key buyers, key retailers. But I also think consumers like it. It's a little smaller. They're not going to a big convention hall. It feels a little more customized and individualized towards them. And I want to see more of that. We've had a few opportunities. Another thing that we like to do is some of our retailer partners allow us to have sessions where we train their beauty advisors. And this is especially true in chain drug, where stores still do have beauty advisors, and that's such a key person. If you can get their ear for 5 minutes and train them on whatever your new product is or whatever benefits you're promising, the value is huge, not just to you as a brand, but I think definitely to that retailer.
It's exciting to hear what you're doing to keep a venerable brand that, as you said, goes back almost 200 years relevant to today's consumer. And thank you for filling us in. Take care.
Anytime.